I swear if you can hear that, that's not me. I'm on a yoga ball. See, I can replicate it, which means it's not me. Hi everyone, it's Nicole and welcome to my living room. Obviously, I'm doing something a little different. I was going to be recording one of my Sims episodes today. Actually, it was supposed to be yesterday. I'm like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Sounds about right. But then I really didn't want to. So I didn't. And instead, I'm doing this. So what am I doing? I don't really know. I'm sure you can find other probably more entertaining videos about this subject. I've kind of talked about it a little bit in some of my previous episodes. I think it was more with the Decades Challenge. Talking about things that's going on in the world right now. If people have, not been living under a rock or, in space, about COVID-19, the coronavirus. I think during one of my episodes, I don't even remember the date now. Let me grab my phone. I was recording on March 13th because I was getting a whole bunch of calls from work because the store that I work at, they were changing all their hours to kind of help with the social distancing. At that point, we were just trying to flatten the curve. And so I kept getting interrupted while I was recording. And I think I kind of inputted some stuff like, oh, I got another call from work. So that was on the Friday, and then we changed our hours. So then that was to start on the Monday. So then on the Tuesday, on March 16th, I get to work and we're told, so we are now closed to the public, call your employees, because I'm a licensee within a larger department store. It's okay, cool. So I was dealing with that in the morning of the 16th. And then I went home. I got home probably around 1:30 because we weren't supposed to start until noon anyways. And I have been home since today, because I'll probably record and upload this the same day. So today, blah, blah, blah. So today is actually day 42 for me. I have not been out in the world since. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are still saying, like my family, some of them are concerned, oh, you need to go for a walk and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, but I wasn't a big fan of, outside anyways. I do in the summer, I love going for hikes, but I live in Canada. The weather right now isn't the greatest. I mean, yesterday was okay. Yesterday was nice, but I'm actually surprised. So I'm in my living room, facing a whole wall of windows right now, and I'm surprised at how bright it is because it's raining. So no, I love hiking in the summertime. It's not really hiking weather. It's still spring in Canada. Rain, we had hail and snow last week. That was fun. But I was inside, so who cares? So people are just saying just go for a walk and everything. And at first I was okay, well, it's fine. I'll just stay home. When I did my behind the scenes video, I mentioned that my husband's still working. He's an essential business, not frontline worker, but still considered essential. So he's the one who's going out. So because he's already out, he's the one doing the grocery shopping and things like that. But that's still only once a week. And sorry if my bouncing and rolling around is bothering you. I'm sitting on a yoga ball because that's the only thing we use it for. So yeah, if he's already going out, we were trying to, do what the government was telling us to do and limit how many people are going out and how many people you're coming into contact with. So that's our plan, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm very happy to do my part and stay home and watch Netflix and play The Sims. So that was good for about the first, I want to say 2.5 weeks. And I'm a very structured person. I like a schedule, so I made myself a schedule between this time and this time I would record, or I would edit it if I've just recorded one, and then I'd eat. I have to actually schedule eating or else I don't do it. So I'd eat and then do one big chore around the house per day, and that was going great for 2.5 weeks. And then I think things just kind of went downhill from there. So I already have anxiety. That was not a surprise. So me staying home didn't start out as And I don't know if it still is, but there are all these people like, oh, like I'm so afraid I'm gonna stay home, like I don't want to get sick. My thing was that I get sick very easily, so I am considered at risk. I have an autoimmune disease. Not that I was like afraid to get it, but it was more of a, if I do get it and I don't have symptoms, I don't want to be passing it along to other people. And really there was no point in me going to like the grocery store if my husband was already out. There's no point in two people in the household going out and not knowing who they're coming into contact with. So like when my husband goes to work, he's in contact with the same people every day, and those people are in contact with the same people every day. So it's still kind of controlled. So there's no point me adding just another variable to it. So I just stayed home. Obviously, like going for walks was something I could do, but not in spring in Canada. So, and I hate the cold. I absolutely hate the cold. I don't care, like, oh, you're Canadian, you should like the cold and hockey and I don't like any of those things. After like the 2.5 weeks, I started realizing like I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up with what I was telling myself. Like, well, I'm home, I have the time, I might as well be productive. And I can do this, this, and this. And oh, I've been wanting to do this for a while. My husband's been bugging me about doing this around the house. So now I have time to do it. So it's just one of those things where all this stuff, I was putting so many expectations on myself, and my anxiety does not handle that well. I don't do well with that kind of stuff. I think from there, I've tried to be a lot more understanding of myself. I think as the days kind of went on and like the weather started to get better, it's like, okay, like I'll sit outside, and sitting outside is fine. I know I'm not alone in this. I keep like seeing it, like psychologists are talking about it, and my dreams have become like much more vivid. I'm having a lot more nightmares than normal. Usually, like I don't even remember like, oh, I think I had a nightmare last night. I didn't really sleep well. I don't sleep well in general. I'm a very light sleeper. It's probably like every single night I'm waking up from a nightmare in the middle of the night. And at first I'm like, okay, well, whatever. But then when I'm reading more stuff on, you know, like on Facebook and like on the news channels, and like how like psychologists are saying like this is a thing, like this isn't, like this is happening to people because of, you know, quarantine and self-isolation and things like that. And my anxiety has just skyrocketed. Usually my anxiety manifests in more, I don't want to say like stomach aches because it sounds like so trivial. I'm like, oh, you have a sore stomach. But it's, like, it can be crippling sometimes in the sense of like, I think like just my body, my nerves are just so overloaded, like I can't move, and because I'm stiff I get sore and things like that. So that's been fun, said no one. And I think now I'm at the point where like I'm just gonna stay home because crap, okay. And I think now I'm at the point where I'm staying home because my anxiety tells me to, because some of my nightmares that I can remember, like, so I don't have a mask currently. I'm planning on getting one. So because I feel like, okay, well, at least like there's something, like even if I'm walking around, because whatever, it would just make me feel more comfortable. Even though my husband goes for walks without a mask, and then he comes home to me, so like I'm still kind of exposed to it. Like the few nightmares that I can remember, and it sounds so stupid, but it's so recurring, is that I'm just going for a walk, just minding my own business, and like someone comes up and like rips my mask off and like coughs in my face and runs away. Sounds really stupid. It really does. It's like, cool, who's gonna do that? But also, who's gonna spit on a grocery worker because the store is out of stock because other people are hoarding it? Oh wait, sorry, that's actually happening. So obviously people are not walking around like, oh, you're on a walk, I'm gonna take your mask off because whatever, and I'm gonna cough on you because I think you're stupid. I know that is completely irrational. I know that that's not going to happen. Tell that to my anxiety. So yeah, so that's how I'm doing on day 42. I'm still trying to keep busy, but like I said, I'm trying to be a lot more lenient with myself. I'll kind of look at the week and maybe pick like maybe 2 things that I want to get done that week, rather than saying like, okay, I have to get this done today. And I think that's been helping a lot too, rather than going like day by day. At this point, we are going week by week. And that's just the reality of it. with my anxiety, I like making plans, and that's where like the kind of the scheduling came in. And when I went off work, the idea was that we'd be getting back to work April 6th. So that was supposed to be like kind of like end date. So I was trying to get as much done before I went back to work. But we kind of had an idea that obviously we're not going back to work on April 6th. But I just kind of kept that in the back of my head. It's like, okay, this is when I'm going back, it'll be okay. So with me and that planning, I need to know that there's an end date. And obviously there is an end date to the pandemic and things that are going on. We don't know what that is. So I think it was just yesterday. So I live in Ontario. Oh no, don't find me. So yesterday for my province, they, like you're gonna try to find where I live. They announced like the plan to reopen the province. So like there's different stages and steps and qualifications. Like, okay, we're in step 1. To get to step 2, we need to have like so many like decrease like this number and decreased active cases or things like that to get to the next stage. So there are no actual dates. They have a plan in place, which is great and something to look forward to, but there are still no dates, which obviously they can't make a date for because we don't know what's going on with this virus. Completely understandable, completely logical. Obviously, I don't want them just like, okay, well, you know what, May 2-4 weekend's coming up, guys. And for everyone who's not Canadian doesn't understand that, it's basically a long weekend of lots of drinking. So yeah, so it's not like, hey, May 2-4, the province is opening up again. Yay, things are back to normal. But that's not how it's going to be. This is the new normal essentially, because even once the province and the country and the world opens back up, it's still going to have like the restrictions of, there's still going to be the social distancing, there's still going to be a limit on how many people can gather, there's still a restriction on the hours that stores are going to be open. So that is the new normal. It's just in my head, I need to know when that date is so that I can kind of, okay, even if it's like 6 months down the road, at least I know, okay, it's only 6 more months, it's only 5 more months, it's only 4 more months. At least that would give me something to kind of go on, but I don't. But my anxiety does not like that answer. At this point, I'm rambling. I recognize that. This is why I usually make notes for myself. I did not. So that's how I'm doing on day 42. I think I've already said that. That's okay. If you are struggling with anxiety, depression, and apparently PTSD is also popping up with things like that, it is normal. It's okay what you're feeling. I'm crying again. Oh my gosh, give me a second. So I'm going to try to find a few links to put in the description box just to give people some resources if they are struggling right now. Obviously, they're going to be Canadian links. I can try to find some American ones if you guys want. Anyways, so whatever you're feeling, it is okay. It's normal. Well, whatever normal means. So I guess that's where I'm gonna leave this. I think I might make the banana bread today. I think I might do that. So I forget how I was ending this, but I'm just gonna end it now. So stay safe, everyone, and I will see you in the next episode, which will probably be the Decades Challenge. I don't think there's going to be regs to it just this week. I'm sorry about that, but not really sorry. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.